All right, welcome back. Countdown to impeachment / trap the vote. Welcome back, guys. So, in today's news, again, we're talking Donald Trump as well as Ormarosa Manigult. The latest BS, or should I say verbiage, spewing from the Donald Trump's presidential Twitter feed. Another outright attack, insult, disrespect to a sitting dignitary. One being Congresswoman from Democratic Congresswoman from New York. She has called for the resignation of Donald Trump due to the proliferation of accusations against him and other known Republican and Democratic congressmen and senators. Sexual assault allegations. Wide-ranging, credible sexual assault allegations and or assaults. So, I think I left on the topic of this. With everything going on in the world today and in this nation, good and evil, we must guard against being sure that our attention and focus is being fixed upon the important things. This is why, you guys, you might see me so vehemently scrutinize the Donald Trump presidency and White House. Not because I'm some angry guy upset with the system. I'm not. Trust me. Best nation on earth, hands down. We'll have a conversation later about whether the institutions that are intact, that are in place, wants a conversation being focused around them. But right now we're talking about the top of the ticket, which is the Donald Trump United States president and administration. Outright assaults, a fixated Twitter attack on a sitting United States congresswoman because she has called on his resignation. Trump is insisting on deflecting attention away from the 12 reliable, very credible women who have set forth allegations, sexual assault allegations, and exuberantly matters of indiscretion as it pertains to sexual assault. Now, people might wonder why. Why are these things so important? Why should I fixate it? Why should I worry myself, concern myself with these things? Here's why. You have the United States Congress and Senate, Republican dominated. Congress and Senate and a Republican president who is set this week, early next week, Monday or Tuesday, to pass a tax reform bill that will single-handedly give the wealth of this nation to the billionaires, millionaires, and major corporations. While trillions of dollars, I think 2 or 3 trillion of dollars sit overseas in corporate accounts. The stock market is booming. I've said this before. The stock market is outright booming. Overall, the American economy is doing well. However, millionaires, billionaires, and wealthy corporations doesn't necessarily need the relief, the financial relief. So essentially, this will be a windfall. This will be a life-altering boom for corporations. If the president passes the tax reform bill set to come to his office before Christmas, this will single-handedly shift the wealth of the nation into the hands of the millionaires, billionaires, and wealthy corporations. So yes, it's absolutely important to scrutinize and overanalyze the actions and behaviors of the president, congressmen, and the senators, and all other officials throughout this nation, sitting in whether it be cities, counties, or municipalities. 2018 is the midterm elections. Congressmen and senators will be voted for. It's important to start this conversation right now because before Christmas, these people are set to pass one of the most groundbreaking tax reform bills in our lifetime. So we have to address the importance of the shenanigans coming out of this White House. Once again, a sitting Democratic Congresswoman from New York calls for his resignation. I encourage you and I to get with your local congressmen or senators and compel them to call on a resignation of Donald J. Trump. Now, multiple allegations. It's not just me saying this. These are credible allegations coming from women throughout this nation. We have daughters and sons to raise in this nation, guys. We shall refuse. We must refuse to have a sitting president with wide-ranging sexual assault allegations against him. Again. Now, on to Ormarosa Manigult. She was literally kicked out of the White House. She was literally carried out of the White House. Had to be dismantled and abstracted from the White House due to violent and volatile behavior against staff members in the White House. This is important. Why? Because this administration came through the doors on the backs of white supremacy to a certain degree. The one only black individual outside of Ben Carson at the White House with this administration, with all of the shenanigans going on with this administration, the only representation from the black community is a woman who did nothing more than went to the United States Capitol and acted so niggardly, acted in such disgraceful ways. Not only did she make it hard and hell for other African American, whether it be reporters and or aid workers in the White House, simply trying to pursue a successful career. She made it outright hard for them to just carry out their daily duties. Then on top of that, she went on to act in such a most baffling of manners as it pertains to etiquette and character. Had to get abstracted from the White House as if, and there's millions of black hardworking African American women throughout this nation who went through the door with the interest of the people at hand, black, white, or indifferent, but more importantly would have conducted themselves in such professional manners in representation of the African American woman. This is not how the black African American woman in this country should conduct herself on such a public landscape. Point blank and period. It's such a disgrace for us to have to wake up to this news that Ormarosa Manigult had to be abstracted and nearly restrained, spewing all kind of verbiage and proliferating curse words throughout the White House because things weren't going her way as it pertains to her access to the president. John Kelly, which is President Trump's chief of staff, he and her had got into a shouting match on multiple occasions throughout yesterday, or should I say multiple instances, where she had to be downscaled or cooled off, took into a corner as if she's a child. This is a disgrace to hard-working African American women throughout this nation who would have went to the White House with the people's interests in mind, and worked diligently to broker some type of deals and policy as to the betterment of the lives of everyday men and women throughout this nation. Not only did she not do that, she made it harder for aides and other hard-working career women in the White House going about their daily duties to be great. She made it outright hard in such a distasteful way. Then on top of that, getting to display such verbiage behavior on such a international landscape, the White House, the United States White House. Countdown to impeachment, / trap the vote. 2018 is midterm election, guys. There are a lot of important issues and matters being addressed, like this tax reform bill. Get out, get to your congressman, get to your senator, let them know no one's, not a damn soul's going to the Capitol or state legislatures without having some type of agenda focused around jobs, jobs, jobs. If you're from the state of Maryland, you got 2 felonies, you can vote. It's time to change the narrative and simultaneously change the minds and ultimately change policy. Right now, this tax reform bill, prior to this tax reform bill, there was $5 trillion worth of wealth created in America from the time of Donald Trump's presidency up until now. That's 11 months, guys. That's a lot. That's a big deal. We don't want no handouts. The African American and Latino community don't want handouts. We want to work hard, just as hard as you and I. However, you have Congress and Senate set this Tuesday, this week coming up, to send a bill to the president's desk that will single-handedly transfer billions and hundreds of billions of dollars of wealth to the hands of the wealthiest corporations, millionaires, and billionaires. We may not be able to stop this, but we can demand a seat at the table. The economy is The economy is doing well. The stock market is booming. You heard that? $5 trillion in wealth created within the last 12 months. We demand that the disenfranchised, the poor whites, but most importantly, African American men and women have seats at these negotiating tables when this bill is passed and these major corporations get the breaks that they're set to get, whether it be taxes. Back up. Let me not leave out the fact that over $1.5 billion will be transferred to the pockets of millionaires, billionaires, and wealthiest corporations, while simultaneously, during the Great Recession of 2009, the recession thereafter, with Barack Obama's presidency, he passed a reform bill, a financial relief package to Wall Street, worth $700 billion. Just to get the American economy back on its feet. Now, that was $700 billion, guys. You have $1.5 trillion set to go into the hands and pockets of the wealthiest millionaires, billionaires, and wealthy corporations in this nation. We probably cannot put a halt to this tax reform bill, but we can demand a seat at the table. We demand jobs. We demand real opportunities without red tape and regulation and discrimination to get these contracts, these governmental or major corporation contracts. We demand opportunities. We are a nation of entrepreneurs. African Americans within African American women over the last 5 years opened up over I think 40% of the small businesses created. That's a big deal, guys. You heard that? African American women over the last 5 years opened up over 40% of the new small businesses created. With no one's asking for handouts. We demand a seat at the table. Opportunity at these jobs. A real shot at these contracts. Without discrimination, red tape, and bureaucracy. Finding innovative ways to prevent disenfranchising African Americans from real shots at these contracts and these jobs. So yes, countdown to impeachment, /track the vote. Not a damn soul will be going to the Congress, the Senate, or the state legislatures without a real understanding, and a honest agenda focused on less regulation for small businesses and the disenfranchised and African American communities. Not a damn soul shall be going to the White House, Congress, or the Senate without a real agenda and in-depth understanding of what the needs of small businesses is. Women, minorities, African American men are creating new small businesses in record-breaking fashion. We demand a seat at the table. And unless and until these legislators go to these congressional halls with these understandings and these papers in hand, not a damn soul shall go. Countdown to impeachment / trap the vote, guys. Shout out to 4 Bill 4 Tough. All that there.